Just a friendly reminder that the opinions expressed on this show are not worth a Canadian penny, so disregard anything you hear that might get anyone in trouble. And despite some of the great ideas you may hear, don't try them at home. Go to a friend's house instead.
It's time to get a gun. That's what I've been thinking. Well, I could afford one. And if I did just a little less drinking, time to put something between me and the sun. When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.
Hello and welcome to Slam Fire Radio. This is episode 314 for July 25th, 2019. I'm one of your hosts, Adriel.
I don't have notes open, so I couldn't tell you. Like, am I next?
Trevor.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, I'm Trevor. Hi, everybody.
Thanks.
Hi, I'm Kelly.
And
I'm the new choir.
You're the new Squire. What's your name, Squire?
Mark.
Mark? Okay, next.
Just Mark. There's no last name. It's like Madonna. I'm Gallon, for anybody who doesn't know me. Welcome to the show.
Also no last name, just like Madonna. Also I'm underwear as Madonna. I've seen it. And I'm Random Dave. Hello, everybody. We're at last here.
At last.
Thought I was running late, but then, hey, I'm
We're all like, it's Slamfire. Of course you're not.
Well, we could give a little bit of a description. So Trevor's doing SummerSlam, and you've got a whole whack of people over at your house, and you got them all. You roped them all into coming on Slamfire. You put them all to work.
Well, let's not pretend they had a choice. Hey, guys, this is what we're doing now.
chop chop.
Yep.
Yep.
No choice.
Yeah.
I left my
All
drink
right.
downstairs.
You
There we
left
go.
your drink downstairs?
Yeah, Trevor rushed me. Poor bastard.
Aw.
At 7:30, guys, I need you guys on the internet. 5:02, you're sitting in my living room picking your nose, talking to my wife. What do you? So yeah, you got rushed a little.
Okay, Mark. Well, Trevor does what he did in Guns this week. You have lots of time to run down and get your drink.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like half an hour, 45 minutes anyway. You're good.
All right. What we did in Guns this week is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Center, Canada's premier firearms retailer. Right now, they have the Beretta 92 FS, the 22 Umarex one for $529. So if you really love your Beretta 92 and you want a 22 version of it, they've got them. Trevor, do you need more time to put your notes in, or do you want to just head on in and start talking about the pre-match?
Yep, let's just do it. Well, I mean, we're gonna make it the main topic, so but I'll cover a little bit of the construction. Just went really, really well, and a lot of things were done really way in advance. And pre-match was today, but like I said, I'll wait till the main topic, and then Gallon and Mark and I can talk about all the awesomeness that was the pre-match and some of the crazy malfunctions that happened in my FX9. So yeah, but we'll each cover our version of the pre-match when we get there. How's that sound? Let's move along.
Sure. So you're not doing anything? You're done? What you did in week? Yeah, what you did in Guns this
Let's
week?
move along.
All right.
That was
I guess,
I mean, yes.
No one else is ready. We all thought we had a half an hour. Oh, what's going on?
I guess that's me then. I didn't do too much. I did take some photos of this guy here. This is a Ruger PCC, and it's got a real interesting design. So I've already shot this gun. It's fun to shoot. It's reliable. The mags come out with this little button on the side there and into your hand. They're Glock mags. They do drop free, but they're not. There's no like right-handed way to do it. It's a very 1022-ish style build, and a lot of the controls are very 1022, like the cross bolt safety.
Yep.
The bolt hold open is a blade, just like the 1022. A couple of different things I like: charging handles, ambi goes to both sides. Yeah. Taking it apart is super weird. It's a super weird disassembly. Let's say you want to get the bolt out of this thing. You got to take it off the stock. You got to pull that trigger group out, and then you got to like squeeze this thing, the bolt, and like pop it out the bottom. So real weird disassembly. Not that you would have to disassemble it a whole heck of a lot. Really like the takedown feature on it. It's just real quick.
Simple and easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Push
There
on
we
the
go.
bottom and
Yeah.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. So super easy for that standpoint. It does have a rail on the top, but like the comb on the stock is really made for iron sights. Yeah, and if you put an optic on there, you will need a cheek rest of some kind. Yeah, that's just like some real quick initial impressions of it. The construction on the interior is real weird. Like, this is one of the weirdest centerfire rifles, like modern centerfire rifles, that I've had a chance to disassemble and take a look at the guts on it. So if you want to see some more pictures on the weirdness that is inside this gun, I've got them up on the Hunting Gear Guys Facebook page.
cool.
I was quite surprised by that gun, other than it was kind of fun to shoot at the charity match. Why the hell did they stick your rear sight so far forward? I mean, if it's designed for iron sights, stick a sight on the back of that rail.
Because
That's
it's
super fast.
takedown.
Down.
No, because it's takedown, so you have both your front and rear sight on the front, so you don't lose zero.
Yeah.
Well,
And it's a really fast sight when you get using it. Like, for an iron sight, it's super fast. I wasn't sure about it when I got mine, and I'm a huge fan of the gun. And as soon as I tried the iron sights, I was sold on them. Like, it's not a spectacular platform because your sight radius is like maybe 12, 13 inches on there, but you can drill them fast with that.
Yeah. There's a lot of speed to using the iron sights like that. I mean, it's got a nice, real big, generous peep on the back there, so it's really easy to grab that front sight looking through that peep. So, super interesting gun. Yeah, I'm excited. I want to go do some more shooting with it. Yeah, this is actually Ian's from Canadian Patriot Podcast and
Prepper podcast.
Prepper Podcast as well. Yep. So he lent me his PCC to review. So,
Well, I got to tell you, Adriel, it's not that, okay, I respected the product. I respected Ruger's reputation. I knew it would be a good gun, but it wasn't a gun that I wanted, and I didn't really think much of it. But in a weird twist, I ended up having to finish my match today with Gallons. More on that
And
later.
you like it?
I didn't
I
say
mean,
that.
Oh, you don't like it?
like the FX9 has a better manual of arms for competition because you can drop your mags with your right hand, whereas with this one, you're hitting that magazine release with your left thumb to drop it. So there's that, but the reliability is good.
Yeah. So as you said, the manual of arms is not that of an AR, but and it's heavy. It's heavier than my FX9. But honestly, I think it was easier to shoot and flatter shooting because it was so heavy. And I printed alphas like all day and was hitting stuff on the move with it. And as long as I had a big space to cover, a long distance to cover in between my mag changes, it didn't matter that I had to hit the mag release, then go to the belt, then back to the gun, right? Because I had the time to get it done. It really didn't cost me anything. So I like it a lot more than I did before I had to use it in a match, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the price is good too. The price on them is very reasonable.
What are
for
they again?
A Ruger product.
They're under $800.
Nice.
yeah, I was
seen them.
surprised. Go ahead.
I've seen them for $719 online. When the pre-orders came out, though, everybody was around $750, $800, and that's with the 2 magwells and a Ruger SR something compact magazine.
Yeah, which you're gonna like put in a drawer and never use, and buy like a full 4-pack of Glock mags and use those instead.
When I got mine, I was talking to a dude out west, and he's running the SR mags, and he was posting online. He was looking to buy the SR mags and stuff off people, right? So we got texting. I said, I got one here. I'll give it to you. I don't want anything for it. I'm running Glock mags, and I don't plan on changing. So then we got talking because the ejector is actually built into the magwell. So I said, if you're not going to use your Glock magwell, and I'm not going to use my SR magwell, let's trade magwells. And then if one of us ever blows the ejector, we've got a spare instead of a useless part we don't have magazines for. So that's the way we went.
Cool. Yeah, it's definitely a cool idea.
Is the ejector removable, or it's actually machined into the magwell?
I'm not sure. I'd have to go out and get it and check it.
Yeah. And then the other thing I did was I've been getting some sling stuff for Maple Seed to get my own kit going. So I got some of these HK hooks, and then I got a couple of different styles of them. And you know how when you buy stuff on eBay, you can't really tell what the size of it is, and some of them came in a little bit big. Imagine putting that on your sling and just like. Ah!
Hey, I'd put those on my bed. Just mail them to me.
It'll repel.
Yeah, you'll get the use out of them.
Yeah, I'm repelling in the bedroom. I'm gonna need those giant hooks.
I'm pretty sure you could. This is steel. This is like no joke. You could tow a car with this, and a little bit big for sling.
Yep.
That's all I've been up to. What about you, Dave?
I was at an ORA, Ontario Rifle Association service match last Saturday. I ran the butts. Everything went really well. We had a ton of people out shooting. The Army was back with us after a 2-year hiatus of not being allowed to shoot with us, so that was awesome. Lots of those guys out, and it was hot. I mean, that was the hottest day I have ever been out at the range for an entire day. It was absolutely brutal. I went through pretty close to 8 liters of water. It was a little bit much. Probably 6 would have done me. I overdid it a wee bit, but it was. I could not believe how hot it was out there.
With the heat index, it was around 40.
Oh, yeah. And we're down in the butts. There's no wind down there. The wind's coming in over the butts, so it's just going right over us and right over the backstop. So no wind. And I was out in the sun, so I didn't even have the shade from the butts. And I'm wearing my helmet and my vest and everything. So, oh, my God, it was hot. But we got the day done. We didn't get shut down for a heat index or a fire index, which was shocking. And we shot all 3 matches. So it was really good. It's an excellent day. And then I looked at what else did I do? I looked at my shadow hammer that Adriel sent me, and I looked at the pistol frame, and then I put them both back in the safe and didn't do anything else.
Why did you just put it in there?
Because I didn't have time. I don't like taking stuff apart when I'm in a hurry because little springs and stuff go missing out of pistols.
This is
what else did I do? I wept a little bit because I didn't win the Maple Seed PGW rifle, so that sucked. But I'm happy somebody did, and lots of badges got sold. That's awesome.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. And what else did I do? I donated $100 to the CCFR on their most recent draw, so that was money well spent, whether I win anything or not. And that was it.
Excellent.
How about you, Kelly?
All right. So what I did was, guess what came in the mail yesterday? Everybody see? Yeah, it's the PGW patches. So they're going to be going out to everybody. They're beautiful. They're very white.
What are PGW patches for those who can't read the patch because they're listening?
It's the Partners in Precision, PGW Defense. It's the fundraiser that we did with PGW. They gave us a Coyote rifle, and we sold these patches, and everybody who bought a patch got entered into a draw. And Philip Mayo from Alberta won the PGW rifle, precision rifle. It's fantastic. It's beautiful. It's going to be going out to him. And as I said, these came in the mail yesterday, and I'm going to be mailing out 300 of these. This is what I'm doing this weekend, is labeling envelopes to 300 people and sending out their patches. So it came yesterday. What else did I do?
Slave labor with kids to do that.
I need children that are going to,
True.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Went to SFRC last weekend because I hadn't been there in probably about a month and a half. So I got my fix in. I was able to meet up with Robert Foote, who's a listener, and also saw Greg Weiss and Gord Lemery, who are
No way.
Yeah, they said that they were on their way to SFRC, and I said, so am I. Stay there. So I got to see them, gave them a big hug. It was good to see them. I also got to see Kelly Kincaid, who is part of Kelly's Square, and everybody else at SFRC. I really miss them. It's been a month and a half. But they got a whole bunch of shipments in, so I got a bunch of stuff. Now, all this stuff I got because basically when you go shooting and you loan people stuff, you don't get it back. So I was able to they finally got in some 1022 megs, so I bought a couple of those because those went missing. Bought a new Leatherman because that went missing. And I bought in purple 9mm speed loader.
A Pula.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pretty.
And I bought one of those because the black one went missing. And It's purple, so nobody's going to steal it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to steal it.
Or not take it without asking. So that's pretty much stealing. You're going to steal it?
Absolutely, I'm going to. That's awesome. That way no one will steal mine.
All right. So I bought all those because they kind of went missing. Yeah. What else I bought? We got in new swag for our instructors as well. So all of our instructors for Project Maple Seed who are missing stuff or needed stuff. New hats. They're a little different than the ones that you guys have been using. So those have all been mailed out to you as well. And what else? Oh, yeah, the CCFR model call out. The deadline is July 31st. If you're interested in being a model in the new calendar that's going to be coming up, the 2020 calendar, email me, Kelly.Wheaton at firearmrights.ca. And
if you're in Ontario or Alberta, you mean?
right now.
That's
Yes.
kind of important to mention too. Don't
Yes.
bother
I got
emailing.
back
Don't
right
bother.
on time.
Don't bother emailing unless you're going to go to Alberta or Calgary or Ontario.
And yeah, that's about it. Been working on lots of Ladies' Day events. Lots of them coming up. Fantastic year this year for Ladies' Day events. You want one?
I can't be in the calendar.
Yeah, you're not going to be in the calendar, Gallon.
If you identify as a woman and you want to go to Ontario or Calgary, you can apply.
He's still
Now it's a hate crime.
I
Okay.
didn't hear that part. I just heard there's a calendar. They're looking for models. That's when I came back. I was getting a drink, and I want to be in a calendar. I want to be a supermodel.
I just explained it to you. You have to, one,
Gallon.
identify as a woman. Two, go to Ontario or Alberta.
Gallon. You are a supermodel. Remember that.
Wow, that sounded really condescending, even for Kelly.
It's in his rider. Whenever he models for us any of the positions at Project Maple Seed, he says, I have to announce that he's a supermodel. This is our supermodel, Jason Gallon. It's in his rider.
No.
He's reaching his massive bicep through
And
the
that's in his rider this fall. I have to say massive bicep. That's it for me. What about you, Gallon? What did you do in guns this week?
Me and Trevor did some gunsmithing earlier. We're really good at it.
Yep.
And I shot SummerSlam with my Ruger PCC.
Okay.
And Trevor beat the crap out of me. But there's no shame losing to Trevor, right? He's an excellent shooter. There's no platform he can't run. I'm not trying to get cozy with him here. There's no shame losing to Trevor. I did a lot better with it this time than I did in my level 2 match last time. I was
Definitely.
super happy.
Yep.
I got it Cerakoted. I use the gun a lot, so like my hard use guns, I like to get them Cerakoted, like my hunting rifles and all that. I sent it to Denis Chouillard, I believe. Is he still a show sponsor?
Yes, he is. It's pronounced Chouinard.
Not a French guy. And his work is excellent. Excellent stuff. Like he's done 4 or 5 of my guns in Cerakote now. It is bomb proof. He does an awesome job. The price is reasonable. There's nothing not to like about it. He did it in a Coyote Brown for me. It looks sick. It's awesome. It shoots better because it looks so good. I'm going to get him to put flames on the barrel next, and then I'm going to start winning.
So, Gallon, do you want to know what the percents were between you and I today, or?
I do not.
All right.
I do.
Next segment.
Yeah.
So Dave, when my gun, when I had to switch guns, I got permission from the range master to finish the match with Gallon's gun after zeroing the biggest, most important stage in the whole match. And I told him, you realize, Gallon, even though I zeroed the stage, I'm still going to beat you, but now I'm going to beat you with your own gun.
And he still lets you use it.
He did. Yeah.
He's a friend.
Kind of
Good
him.
sport.
I felt
I let
awful.
him shoot my ammo too because his gun was garbage. His ammo was garbage. Trevor was not prepared for this. Like he was there to shoot, but he was not prepared for this match in any way.
Oh, that's lies. Oh, man. We'll get into it later. My ammo was not garbage. We proved that after I loaded like 400 when I got back.
While we were gunsmithing.
Yeah, we'll get into all that later.
Well, I have to tell you, Jason, that when you do beat Trevor, or at least you tie him, it's delicious. It tastes like victory. Lemony fresh victory. You will get there, my friend.
And you have to tape it and watch it over and over and over again. Right, Dave?
Oh, speaking
Yes,
of
you
taping
do.
it, there's
I
a
thought for a couple of minutes about not lending him the gun and not lending him the ammo. I don't want to sound unsportsmanlike, but when his gun basically exploded, like a little part of me inside was going, yeah! But had I not lent the gun and the ammo, I would definitely not be on Slamfire tonight. I'd probably be sleeping outside on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
I kind of need him, and he kind of needs me. We're symbiotic.
That's right. Yeah, we established that. I'm like the shark, and you're like the little fish that swims underneath my belly, eating my leftover scraps.
I was the shark. You used my gun and my ammo there to kick ass at that match.
Right. Talk about just remember to talk about what happened on your weekend strong hand stages later.
Oh, it was brutal.
Cool. Who else do we got over there?
We got so this guy. I need to introduce him. We need to make this official. This is a gentleman that Filthy used to refer to as Stable Boy. All right. So we all know Filthy has himself a squire, Fred Lapierre, and Fred got the nickname Squire because Filthy would drag him to the IPSC matches, and since he's literally half of Filthy's age, he would have Fred carry his stuff around. So he's like, "You are my squire." So Mark Price comes on the scene, and Mark has known Owen for a long, long time. They used to beat each other up with sticks and fake armor. And I don't know how Filthy and Mark. Sorry, I don't know how Mark. Yeah, Filthy. I don't know how Filthy and Mark met. But anyway, Filthy drags Mark up here one weekend, and he's pooping all over Mark, and basically Mark's not even good enough to be a squire, and Mark gets branded with the nickname Stable Boy. Well, I have to tell you that after the performance that he put in this week, he came up here for an entire week. He arrived on what day, Mark? Saturday. So he gets up here on Saturday, and is staying until Sunday night or Monday morning, depending on how things go at Muffin's after party, right? And he's come to the range with me every day. He's replaced Matthew, because Matthew used to stay here, go to the range with me and work, and then come home and do squad buckets and target bags and admin stuff and printing labels and printing lists. And Mark has completely taken over that role. And it's not that I want to say he's done it better than Matthew, but he's done it better than Matthew.
Well, look at him. He's like 4 times the size of Matthew. He's literally
so
4 times the man that Matthew is. You can squeeze him like a lemon.
That's it. You got it, right? So anyway, I told him, I said, he's accepted a position with a new firm is what's happened, right? He's now part of the Ferlate Group, and he's accepted the position of Squire over at Ferlate Group. So Filthy is just going to have to suck lemons or something.
Luck.
Yeah, Filthy's out of luck. So
who's this new Squire or Stable Boy then?
There is no more Stable Boy. Stable Boy has been accepted a new position at the Ferlate firm and is now a Squire.
No, there's new position now available.
So the position is now open.
Oh,
Yes.
we have a position open for Stable Boy.
Right. We will be accepting, applications.
Right,
Just
right.
send them to slimefireradio@gmail.com.
Yeah, you could be the next Stable Boy. So go ahead, Esquire. There, tell us what you did this week in Guns.
This week in Guns, I did everything Trevor told me to do.
I didn't complain.
He didn't complain. And today we've had some long days and we've had some challenging days. Today was both long and challenging. And I'm in one of my surly moods right now, like never before. I'm exhausted, and these boys are taking all of my rude comments and short-tempered snaps in stride, and I appreciate it.
My gun worked flawlessly the whole match.
Yet again.
Nice.
my Gram Power K100.
I am really tempted.
It is the official sidearm of all Slovakian troops and police forces. Like, what, 18 or 20 of them? How many do they have now?
24.
24, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I have
You
been
love
tempted
it,
to
though.
purchase one of those. They are lovely pistols. I handled one, and I understand why David Coping is all in love with them and carrying them, because they're pretty sweet.
I still want to seize it.
Also very
Yeah.
sweet.
I never should have shot one last year. I loved it so much. I just gave it back to Bill Anderson and said, don't ever let me shoot that again. I just can't do it.
I got to get you to try 1911.
Yeah,
I tried yours.
1911 is
I hate
nice.
you for that.
I gave a buddy of mine came out with his wife to shoot a CQB match, so I gave her my Shadow 1 to shoot. And then at the end of the day, he's like, "Yeah, we got to get you your own pistol, maybe a Glock." She's like, "No, I want one of these." So she just got a Shadow 2 a couple weeks ago, so she's pretty
Sweet.
pumped.
It was a great match for me. I had Lots of fun, lots of different targets. There's a lot of targets I've never shot at before, so it was a really good experience. And except for a couple things. Like I missed a target on one stage that was a pain in the butt. I actually had a no shoot, and I shot the target once, and then I stared at it, mad that I hit the no shoot, and never shot again.
The brain
That's not
locked
the
up
way it
hard.
works.
Put the brain in a park.
I was so mad. Overall, it was a great day, and the days didn't seem overly long. They seemed to end at a pretty good time.
Today, like at 1 o'clock today, I could have swore it was 4 o'clock.
Oh,
Well, that's
bad
because of your
sign.
issues, though. That was a you thing.
Okay, that's fine. I'm glad everyone didn't experience time the way I did today.
sweet. Is that it, Mark?
Yep, that's it.
Awesome. All right. We got everyone, right? Do you have anyone else just like hanging out on couches over there that's going to chime in? No?
Hiding somewhere.
No, we're good, man. Let's move on.
All right. Upcoming events. We have the Meaford Steel Challenge. That's going to be September 7th, 8th, and 9th. They still need ROs to come out and meet some great shooters. And Kelly. Kelly's going to be there.
Yep.
There as well.
Oh, there you go. Ryan McLean, Tactical
Yeah.
Future, Greg May, Dave. They're all going to be out there. It's going to be a great time. So why don't you go out there and what do you even do? Hold a timer. Make sure that people don't put their booger picker on the bang switch when they're not supposed to.
They need both ROs as well as somebody who's going to be spotting at each stage. So, yeah. Just,
So if you can yell impact.
yep.
Mhm,
If you have a
And look-
spotting scope, bring it.
If you're such a person, send a message to the Facebook group or email Chris at psoc.ca. Let's see here. News. Did you guys see that Ian did a video on the C1A1? Ian from Forgotten
I
Weapons?
did. I saw it. I didn't watch it. It's saved to my watch later. How cool is that? Was that the Canadian military version or edition that we used of the FNAFL?
And he had a trials. No, what did he call it? A shop rifle. One of the first experimental rifles. Apparently, we have a company here in Canada called what was it? Movie Gun Works. It's a company that has an arsenal for the movie industry for blank firing and that kind of thing.
Yeah,
And
there's
that's
one in
where-
Toronto and one in Vancouver.
Yeah, and that's where they were to test these things out and show them off, and they were really cool. Yeah.
Miss my FNFL.
Mm.
I bet you do. Why'd you ever get rid of it?
I didn't get rid of it. So what happened was I was at a gun show and a guy had an Australian, it was a Lithgow FAL, and it was a really good deal on it. So I thought, yeah, absolutely, I'll take it. But I didn't have my restricted at the time. So I had it registered in a buddy's name, and they prohibited them before I got my RPEL. So I lost my FNFAL, and I'm now the wrong person to hold one. So the government owes me an FNFAL.
Fair.
Okay.
That's the way I see it.
I think that's how that works. Yeah. All right. On to new gun stuff. The first one I wanted to show. Am I going to be able to show this? Ooh, tricky. Let's see. Maybe.
Because
Yeah.
that works. There you go.
That'll work. This is the MDT's got a new bipod out called the Skypod. Skykey-pod. I have no idea how they want you to pronounce that, but CKYE pod. So it's a fancy bipod. They're $500. They look very robust. I might buy one though because it's $500 and
It's a big chunk of steel.
it's not really my
Aluminum.
game. Yeah. But they got them. That's kind of neat. The next one, the Terra TM9. Have you guys seen this? It's the wait. Terra Perfection.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Lawsuit perfection.
Yeah, indeed. It's a Glock off.
Glock off? Yes.
Glock knockoff? Yeah. But it's got like the MMP style takedown. The rest of the stuff is kind of Glock. There's a dual action, single action trigger assembly of some kind. Interesting thing about these, they're $369. So one more entry into the polymer striker fired pistol that no one asked for particularly.
No, where
Doesn't look like the mag release sticks out very far.
No, it does not. Nope.
Finger grooves, no stippling.
Where's this thing made?
I had it.
In a country that no longer exists in the Middle
It
East.
does. It's in the Balkans, and it's one that's near the ocean. I can't remember what it's called. It's one of the weird ones. I don't know. Who cares?
I'll make a Simpsons joke then. Put it in H.
Yeah. The IWI Masadas are $659. So I think we talked about those, and they're up now.
We didn't talk about that price, so that's pretty good.
$659.
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, it's not $550 like the CZ, but
yeah,
it's not bad. It's cheaper than some of the other options
that have been on the market for longer.
That's right. But I mean, it's still IWI. It's not like a Gerson fly-by-night Turkish thing.
Correct.
We need to ask Benny. I think Benny may have one of those.
I would assume that he would buy one.
He probably has one by now.
Yeah. Yeah. We want to wade into this one?
Nope. That's dumb.
I think it's... why do you think it's dumb, Trevor?
Well, because it doesn't have anything to do with us.
And because Trump has been banning stuff like bump stocks. Like, if you're going to, like, put Trump on anything, you should put him on a bump stock. Like, engrave him on a bump stock as an ironic thing.
It's a slap in the face to the LGBTQ community, right? They're taking those letters and putting other things on them, which I'm not super thrilled about. And then it's just a little too pro for me.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
You feel free to talk about it.
I'm in the same boat. I think Trump has been banning more stuff than Obama has. So to engrave his face on a magazine seems silly, and it's not even funny. If it was funny, I think
right.
I love offensive humor, but it's not funny, and
they've missed the mark.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed.
Anyways, lots of people on CGN. I think they bought them out.
Why would a Canadian want that magazine? Can someone explain that to me?
Yeah, it's silly.
Yeah. So they found it amusing, probably.
I guess. Fair enough, Dave.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What's from
So I don't this is new to the market. This is the Norinco Olympia pistols. I think this is designed to be used for like your 25-meter rapid fire ISSC, the Olympic style shooting. Because these pistols are like $1,000 if you get the actual Walther one. Or you could get the Norinco one for $299.
Wow.
Yeah.
It probably shoots the same. Or pretty close.
I don't know.
I doubt, Dave.
Yeah. No, absolutely it shoots the same. Genuine Chinesium. It's good stuff.
Okay. What is this thing? What is this?
It probably has to do with resting the pistol while they shoot it.
Maybe.
You'd have to look at the style and technique they use.
It says barrel weight. Maybe it's a barrel weight, or maybe it's to hold it.
They also put the gun down in a low ready position. Maybe it rests on that or something. Looks like it's got a ledge and a step there. This is all pure speculation. Who cares? It's Olympic pistol shooting.
Indeed. Let's see here. Glock 43X and 48 railed versions are out now. So
interesting. I love this gun. I got to tell you, man. I haven't even shot it, but I handled it, and I absolutely love it. And I love that it's the smallest restricted, most compact restricted we can get. I would take this over a 19 any day.
Yeah, because it's got a nicer grip on it and slim line. So that's kind of neat.
Now, I'm not going to take the slim line gun that's meant to disappear in my waistline and stick a light on it. That's stupid.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, let's see. God almighty.
That is silly.
Yep. They just needed to sell more guns. So, hey, stick a rail on that sucker. No, take the rail off. We're going to sell a couple of million without a rail. And then a year into production, we'll introduce the railed version.
I think stick a bayonet on it, though.
One of the things that Glock has been doing is introducing more and more models with such slight variations that it almost doesn't matter.
Yep, but for a collector it does. And there are people that literally have every make and model of Glock out there.
Indeed.
Weird. It doesn't seem like the sort of thing one would collect, but I could see that, yes.
No. If you're looking for Yo Dave stuff, you can get that stuff now in Canada.
What is Yo Dave stuff?
Yo Dave makes triggers and trigger kits for your CZ rifles.
I like it.
I like it too. So I like me a CZ rifle. This would be the 452 we're looking at, which is one of the 22s. Or are they also doing these for... So could I get one of these Yo Dave kits for my 17 HMR CZ maybe? That'd be cool.
This is the 452, 455, or BRNO trigger
regardless of caliber. Nice.
Yep. Trigger pull weight can be adjusted from approximately 1 to 3.5 pounds.
Jeebus.
Comes with 4 shims and 4 new springs, plus a roll pin, so you can change out the springs on it. Yeah, it's pretty light.
Yeah, it's $30. Who cares?
Yeah, I love springs. Such a cheap way to improve a gun's feel.
Who is that?
Why are we ringing?
Turn it off before Trevor comes and thumps you.
Yep. Thank you, Kelly.
You're welcome.
I got one of these coming.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
Yep. That's for your 458 SOCOM, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Who cares?
Okay, yep. Mhm.
Well, my upper, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Yep. The boys from Wolverine Supplies are a major match sponsor for SummerSlam, and some of their employees and staff shooters are coming to shoot the sponsorship squad, and one of them is bringing me one of these.
Really? Who's coming?
Nice.
Ty, Ryan.
Mhm.
I'd have to check the list to see if there's anybody else. There were more. Matt had to drop out. Guy had to drop out.
Okay.
But
Say hi to
Ryan
for me.
Ryan Rupert.
Yep.
So he doesn't work for Wolverine, but keep claiming that he does because it really bugs him, and I love
Well,
hearing it.
I did say employees and staff shooters, right?
Yes. Well, he is a staff shooter. He's
It better be
he's got a-
something,
He's got a
'cause-
jersey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Anyways, bug him about it. So for the audio listeners, we're talking about the Wolverine Supplies is bringing in 458 SOCOM magazines that are pinned to 5 rounds of 458 SOCOM, and they're very neat. Very similar to your 50 Beowulf mags.
very similar. So it's a full body magazine
Mhm.
that is pinned to hold 5 rounds of 458.
Yeah, exactly. And they are very interesting. Yeah. These magazines will fit 5 rounds of 458 SOCOM. I think I've been asked this 13 times. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are going to spend 13 minutes talking about these. Beowulf
Probably. Yeah.
magazines, Or SOCOM.
Well, before we get to 13 times, we can just move on to the next one then.
But that was literally the post from one of the Wolverine guys. How many rounds does this hold? It holds 5 rounds of 458.
I just wonder how long.
I've been asked this 13 times. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's very carefully what they chose to say.
That's right.
These are kind of neat. So Dante's has the Smith & Wesson MP45 threaded barrel kit. So you've got your 45 ACP, MP for 477, and it comes with 2 barrels, a 4.5 inch barrel and a 5.18 inch
2 barrels for $480.
If it's a 9mm, I'd take it.
Yeah, but it's a 45. That's why it's only $480 because not everybody is hankering for a MMP and 45.
No.
Yeah.
You could, maybe you can get another barrel. Get the 9mm barrel for it.
I don't know if like
They probably
Lone Wolf does the conversions like they do for Glock.
Probably not. No. But
By the time you do that, you're probably up into the price of just buying a 9mm M&P.
Yep.
Yeah. True story, Dave.
Yep. All right. That is enough of that. Okay, let's add on into our main topic. Our main topic is SummerSlam so far. So far, like you guys are on what day of what day?
Okay, so we just finished day 2 of the pre-shoot. So SummerSlam is an IPSC level 3 match. Level 3 means that it has to receive national and international sanctioning approval of the course of fire, or the courses of fire. And it's huge. I'm exhausted. It's been a lot of long days. Construction has been going on all of last week, and then this week. So the range was closed last week as of Tuesday, and this week it was closed for construction and then pre-match. So pre-match is Wednesday, Thursday. Friday is typically we reset all the targets or replace all the targets. So the match will start with fresh targets on Saturday morning. And porta potties come in. The range is also open for competitors who want to pop by and look at the stages from afar. They are not allowed to walk the stages. They are not allowed to enter the shooting area. They are not allowed to go down range of the stage because although the range is open to everyone, not everyone can make it. So as a match director, I believe it's unfair for them to walk the stages the day before other competitors have the opportunity. So I have strict guidelines. Stay off the stage or you'll be told to leave the range. A lot of the things that we typically would be doing tomorrow are done. Wednesday, Luke, bang switch. Luke usually rolls in and he sets up the chronograph stage. I was able to get that done with some help from the boys. And so all Luke had to do when he arrived on Wednesday was put up a couple of tarps, set the Crony up again, and calibrate it with the match ammo and the match gun. And we were able to get both squads that were in the pre-match through Crony today. Or yesterday rather. So that meant today, Luke was pretty much at our disposal to get a couple of little things done that we may have missed or may have forgotten. And when he got all those things done, he actually went around the range and retargeted the entire match all by himself. Took the better part of the day to do it by himself, but it was done. So when we were done today, we were done. There was nothing to do. Let's get out of here. I had lots to do. But things have calmed down a little bit. We went and picked up the awards and stuff like that. So tomorrow will be a relaxed day at the range. And then tomorrow evening, we have the quote unquote registration night. Everybody's already registered, but it's got a match check-in. They come in, they see me at the table, and they give me their name. I confirm their division and category, tell them once again what squad they're in. And then
We lost Trevor.
Yeah, we lost Trevor.
It's kind of funny because you've got like 3 guys in the house all trying to use the internet. Oh, you're back.
All right. Okay. Where did I get cut out?
It was going to be an easy day at the range.
Registration
Take
night.
people's registrations and see what the squad they're in.
So people come to the pub to check in for the match, and Muffin's there selling hats, and Tracy from the CCFR will be there giving out the match booklet and a little bit of swag. One of our match sponsors this year is Black Sheep Brass, and he hooked us up. He gave us several thousand bags. They're bags of 1,000 pieces of 9mm brass, all prepped, ready to go. And then he gave us bags of 100 to give to the competitors at check-in. So they'll get their match booklet. They'll get a bag of 100 pieces of 9mm, the match booklet, and I imagine Tracy always has like a lanyard and a sticker or something from the CCFR. So then Saturday we go live with the match. I have gotten confirmation from IPSC Canada that because I shot the pre-match with a PCC, I'm permitted to shoot it with a pistol during the main match. So I am that special kind of stupid where I think this is a good idea and I'm going to do it. So I've got an incredibly competent range master on site. I turn the match over to him. Really, I've got nothing to do. So, but he's shooting. I'll be in the sponsorship squad with him. You know, if we get a call, we can co-range master. I'll go once, he can go the next time, something like that. And we're also going to shoot through, which means we'll finish ahead of the other people. So then we can concentrate on match administrative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's where we're at. So why don't I turn it over to the boys and they can discuss what their impressions were of the pre-match, their highlights and their lowlights, and I'll talk about all the catastrophe that happened today to me, and then we'll wrap it up. So Gal and Mark, which one of you guys wants to go first and talk about your day?
Mark, you want to go for it?
Sure, why not? I'll be short and sweet, probably. I actually really enjoyed the match. It was good to watch other people go ahead of me. So sometimes you get an extra idea or an extra thing they're doing, because maybe sometimes I'll change my mind, especially if there's a few people ahead of me. The worst is going first, because then you can go through and talk about the match, and then you go first, and then you watch people go after you, like, oh, I should have done that. Maybe I should have done that. People do a lot of talking before, the stage starts, so usually you can pick up some ideas, but sometimes I think people keep stuff to themselves just a little tiny bit, just to give themselves a little edge.
Oh, man, we got one guy that's like that, and he actually doesn't even want me to watch him do his walkthrough. Trevor will see my tricks. Are you serious, dude? Come on, really? Yeah, so that's the thing. There's no question, Mark, that some people will see something and absolutely keep their mouth shut. If I see anything that I think will benefit someone, that's a shortcut or whatever, I'm so proud that I found it, I can't help but open my mouth.
That's why you're such a stand-up guy.
And yet you still win.
Well, that's the thing is, Dave, I'll tell anybody my plan anytime. They just have to go out there and do it better than me. It's not about gaming. It's about shooting it to the best of your abilities. You can have the best stage play in the world. If you can't hit what you're aiming at, then don't matter.
Yep. Or do your mag changes or move.
I'd rather discuss, because I'm still in a position where I want to learn. And I think that discussing with other competent shooters, you learn more about stage breakdown and options. because there's the last Battle of Alberta I was shooting with Tuna. He's a pretty good IPSC shooter and 3-gun shooter out of Alberta here. And a couple of times I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do this, this, and this, and this. And he's like, yeah, I was kind of thinking about that too. And then I went and shot it. And he's like, you did this. Why'd you do that? Why didn't you do that over here? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's good. That's yeah. So
we often, some of them just wait to watch me do my walkthrough, but I may be better at it than them, but it may not be the best plan, then
sure.
Some of the top guys from Nova Scotia will show up and then they'll do something and I'll feel like the rookie, right? Mm-hmm. But every once in a while, one of the new guys will come up with something that I'm like, I'm changing my plan, and Other Trevor did that more than once throughout this match. We stood back, we watched him do it, and I was like, Trevor, you just taught me something. What you just did makes so much sense. I'm embarrassed I didn't think of it myself, right?
Sometimes new people don't know the mistakes to make.
That's right. Yep. Even Jerry Mitchell says he watches everybody, new and veteran alike.
And you just got to know your limits, because I've had stages where I see people doing something and I'm like, oh man, I should do that. And I'm like, I actually cannot physically do that. So there's no sense in trying it and failing and getting no hits and hitting the wrong targets, because we had the one that had, I think, five poppers that were activating ones.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
That we had to do. And some people were, running across really fast and trying to get one of the drop targets. And it was like, or shooting from far back, and I'm like, I'm just going to try it my way, because I'm not going to have the speed to make it worth my while.
Yeah.
So I just stood in one spot and shot the targets.
Right. Or you may see me run up and take one while running, or shoot them while moving from right to left. And then you guys are like, it's a great plan, but my shooting skills aren't there yet. So I need to run all the way over here and then stop and shoot them from here. Right. And then we saw Phil. God love Phil. If Phil shot every weekend, a lot of people be in trouble, because he is really good for the amount of time he puts in. He had a good plan, but he flinched and smoked the penalty steal. I had 2 penalty steals close to the shoot steal, and he tried a hard angle and he put it right into the penalty steal, just not realizing that at that angle he was actually going to have to aim farther to the right than he normally would, and just so. He chose a strategy that exceeded his skill level at this time. So,
and all except for one stage, my mag change plans were really good. So I had those all down in my head before I started. So I wasn't trying to mess with how many rounds I had. I always knew what I had left, especially if there was steel involved. So I knew how many misses I had and could still go without doing a mag change. So that seemed to pay off pretty good.
Awesome. What was your favorite stage?
I don't know. I really like the trailer one.
Yeah, I was a fan of the trailer one too. I had a little bit of struggle there finding the red dot through the port one time, but for the most part, I was very happy with it. And is there a stage that you would want to do again, given the opportunity?
Well, one that I would need more practice on is I realized I need to work on my long game more, because say the boat, those last targets, 3 targets, and I empty every round I had left, because I knew I was going to have trouble hitting them. And I hit some, but it's a long ways away.
It's probably fair to say you've never shot at a target that far in an IPSC match in your life.
Oh, for sure, no.
Yeah. How far out are the targets?
We had steel at 30 and then 3 paper at 35.
Oh, nice.
Man, the
steel wasn't obstructed or no?
Nope, they were not obstructed.
It's not super far. That's a good shot with a pistol, though.
Yeah, I've brought them in. I've had them as far as 50 before. They'll be back at 50 for the Nationals, of course.
And pre-walking the stage helped with as far as, making sure I get into the proper position and not forgetting to go out the window and coming in low.
What happened where you missed a complete array of targets? Where was that? Was that the transport?
Oh, I think it was the first stage, wasn't it? I think it was steel popper I missed.
No, but didn't you completely forget to shoot at a group of targets? You walked right by them?
Nope.
No? Okay. Maybe that was somebody else.
There was one steel popper I completely missed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
And there's one stage too that had a low window, and I figured out that if I just squatted down, I couldn't actually see my sight. So I just put my arms up past the wall, and I could look through at my sight. I have long arms, so I could pull it off, but some other people couldn't. So
yeah, cool. You have a mute button, Gallon. Anything else, Mark?
No, it was a great day. Lots of fun. Well, I also need to know a lot of practice on moving targets because with the drop turners and the swinging targets and stuff, there was just so much movement out there that I need to practice on that stuff.
Not easy to do unless you have a Nipsic club like mine that has a bunch of them and they're left set up once in a while,
Exactly.
Yeah, so cool. Gallon.
Yeah, so this was my first SummerSlam.
Really?
I thought it was awesome. All the stages were challenging. They all were pretty fun unless you dropped the ball like I did. My worst stages were the transport trailer because there's a window when you're coming back with 2 targets, and I blew past it. I didn't even stop and think or look. I blew past it, and that pooched the stage for me.
Oh, that was you.
Yes.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
Sounds like Trevor's glitching out again. Go ahead, Gallon.
Jason?
Yeah, Trevor's a bit glitchy. And the last stage, the 2 stages were basically identical, right? You shoot a partial paper, there's a piece of steel, and then a full target. And when you shoot the steel, it drops the targets, and it presents another partial and another full target. So with the PCC, that was pretty good. I shot my partial, shot my steel. As it was falling, I hit my big target. And then once it dropped, I hit the big target again, and then I hit the partial. I did really well on it with the strong side. So then I was going into the weak hand shooting, and I'm shooting PCC, so that's off my left-hand shoulder, and I was super confident about it going in. I'm like, let's do this. Like, I can shoot weak hand all day. And the timer went off, and I brought the gun on my shoulder. I didn't turn my EOTech on, and I had to punch that thing like 20 times just to get like a little bit of it. I completely threw that. It was awful. Like, that was an easy hit factor of like 5+, and I shot like a 1.79 because of that. It was just, it killed me.
So I go up to shoot it, and I'm laughing at him saying, I'll get a 7 on it, right? Well, I went to the safety area, didn't realize that he never actually completely turned on the EOTech. He got it on just enough so that he could see, and left it at that. So when I went to the safety area, picked up the rifle, took a sight picture on the backstop, went, all right, it's on, good. It wasn't turned on all the way. So when I get out there, I can barely see the stupid reticle. So he was off completely for him. And yeah, totally off completely for him and only barely on for me. So instead of rocking a 7 hit factor, I only had to put like a 5.
But besides that, it was a really good match. Again, it was my first SummerSlam. I was kind of following Trevor around all day, seeing what he was doing. And I was looking at his hit factors versus my hit factors. Yesterday, we had a chat.
Sometimes he'd take the stub out of the scorekeeper's hands before I got to it.
Yeah, it's my thing. But like last night, we had a chat and stuff. And Trevor said, like, you're shooting good. Your alphas are, you're making your hits, right? But work on less positions and stuff. We shot stages where I'd take 5 positions to shoot it. And then Daddy Longlegs here would do it in 3 positions. Well, it's less moving around. This is where he's getting his scores, right? So it's like getting skating lessons from Gretzky. He's blushing a little. But no, I had a super good time. This was an awesome match. The stages are all fun. All of them have unique challenges. Like that first one we did where you had to go prone. That was painful for a lot of people.
Prone, but on on your side.
Yeah, like an urban prone.
Ooh, urban prone. Nice. Love that. That's easy points.
Yeah.
Great for a PCC too, because that's a super easy shot to make with a rifle. Kind of a pain in the butt for a pistol.
Well, with the PCC, a lot of the stages are, I don't know if this is intentional or unintentional. Maybe Trevor wants to chime in. But a lot of them, you don't have room to muzzle that long rifle, right? You have to come way back and way around to get in there, or otherwise you're going to be slamming into barricades and stuff.
So the reason why that is this is still a pistol match, and we allow rifle shooters to shoot it. When match directors are designing stages at this point in the game, because PCC is new, they're barely considering PCC. It's almost an afterthought. So they're not designing stages to be more challenging for the PCC or easier for the PCC. They're designing their typical IPSC stage, and if you can navigate it with a PCC, good on you. But don't expect any accommodations.
That's something I think PCCs have to learn to deal with, is the different angles and room that they're going to have compared to just being out on the range. especially if they're like, maybe pointing down through a floor or through a railing. It's going to be hard to see. Maybe they haven't never looked that way before.
I tell you, Mark, if I do commit to PCC on a regular basis, I'm going to get a 7.5 to 10.5 inch barrel length for an upper for an AR.
Right.
I'll get an AR upper chambered in 9mm with a stupid short barrel, because at the distances we shoot, it won't matter if it's 7.5 or 18. It don't matter.
It's a lot of handier around windows and doors and walls and all, like going up and around a wall. You don't have 18 inches sticking out in front of you.
That's right. So, Gallon, favorite stage, least favorite stage you like to do over on?
Oh, I'd like a do-over on that last stage 19, the weekend shooting. That was easy points for me. And I pooched it by not having that sight on and then dragging my finger along the bolt, which caused a double feed. That's the one I want to redo. Favorite stage? Like, are we talking fun-wise? It'd have to be the maze or the boat. The bus was awesome. Like, these were all really, really good stages.
I really liked the bus and the boat. They were fairly practical in how the target placement and movement was. Right? A lot of people say IPSC isn't practical. It's as practical as the match director would like to make it, given the access to the props that he has. So, what I did with the bus stage was the start position was this: seated with your back touching the back of the seat, your hands on the marks, and the marks were at 10 and 2, looking forward out the windshield with your right foot on the brake and your left foot on the clutch. That was the start position. So you didn't get into the IPSC monkey and game it and lean and creep and all this stuff. The start position was incredibly detailed, and it had to be demonstrated by the arrow, so everybody started the same way. Then you had to get up out of the seat, get your firearm loaded off of a barrel, and engage targets through the bus windows, and then kick open the back door and engage targets in the back. So on the left, we had a silhouette of a car with a passenger and a driver, and then on their knees would have been a bad guy hiding behind the front bumper and a bad guy hiding behind the rear bumper. So that was on the right side of the bus. You had the same target array, same kind of car on the left side of the bus. And then when you kicked open the back door, there was a truck. And you remember the gas pump radio?
Yep.
So the gas pump was in front of the back of the truck. And so it's like the truck pulled up to the gas pump, right? Well, I had a swinger back there. So when you hit the popper, the swinger was basically a bad guy appearing and disappearing from behind cover behind the truck. So the swinger would literally pop out from behind the gas pump and go back again. So it was very realistic, very practical, heck of a lot of fun. Cool. Really only one way to shoot it, so you couldn't game it. I closed up all the windows on the bus. It's like you shoot out this window for this array of targets, you shoot out this window for this array of targets, kick down the back door and shoot that array. Now let's see who can get the best hits at the fastest time. And
I want to redo that stage.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
The partials killed me.
So what he's talking about by partials is, so in IPSC you have two types of partials. You have a shoot target with a no-shoot target over the front of it, and if you hit the no-shoot target, you receive penalties. Then you have what we call a hardcover target, where half of the target or 3/4 of the target is painted black, and that black represents hard cover. So either a bad guy behind the wall or a bad guy wearing body armor, something like that. Well, I'm frugal, so instead of painting half the target black, I put my non-scoring border on, which is a piece of tape, and then I slice the target in half. And slicing the target in half is the same effect, as far as the rules is concerned, as a hardcover target. So to stop people from shooting through the car, I use those cut targets, and I place them just an inch or two above the window sill of the door on the car. And the car doesn't get shot up that way. And people think they've got a smaller, harder target to hit. It's the exact same amount of real estate you have, whether I paint it black or cut it in half, but it has some kind of psychological effect on them. So
interesting.
Yeah. I admire how frugal you are. I just want to get that out there in the open.
Probably because people are used to shooting the middle of a target, and all of a sudden they don't have a middle. It's much, much smaller.
Yeah, but they have a false sense of confidence when the whole target's there, but part of it's painted black.
Yeah.
So yeah, the whole thing's there, but guess what? If you hit in the black, it ain't going to count. So
Some of those targets are challenging for the PCC because of our height over board.
yeah, I got screwed once. I ended up
Too.
I ended up not aiming off enough and put 2 into the penalty, but I was close enough that I could see it, and I made it up, of course, but it was still, down 20 on that one target. So, All right, you guys good? I'll go ahead. So the pre-match started Wednesday morning, and I didn't think I was nerved up, but obviously I was nerved up. I got calls almost right away from the other squad with a couple of questions, and I encourage that. I always tell them, you have a radio, use it. Don't think, don't interpret, don't come up with anything on your own. If something isn't painfully obvious right off of the bat, please call me on the radio and I will clarify, because I don't want you doing something you're not supposed to and causing a reshoot or a stage getting tossed or whatever. So anyway, in the first 5 stages, I was down points because I had a mic on stage 1. Stage 1, first of all, my game plan fell out my butt as soon as the beeper went. I was supposed to take the intended targets from the port and then one from the middle array through the first port, and then skip the middle array altogether, go straight into that urban prone position, shoot the targets intended from that port, and then sneak around a couple of rounds into the center array. And I forgot to take the first target from the center array when I started, and then I was running right past it going, oh, I forgot to shoot these guys. Come back. Well, I might as well shoot them both now that I'm flat-footed, and stopped. So that cost me extra time, and then I believe I had a mic on it. The next stage, I also had a mic. Stage 3 was 5 poppers and 2 swingers. I picked up a mic on one of the swingers. Stage 4, a target was on a hard lean, and I should have used my 45-degree offset optic, and I didn't. And I was leaning so hard that I fell out, and I got one shot off before I fell, and the other shot went off as my foot hit the ground. So I picked up a procedural there. Stage 5, I ran into the wall.
Yep.
Um,
I may have had targets too.
Yeah, I may have had a mic on stage 5. Stage 6 went okay. Stage 7 went okay. Stage 8, the house. We cannot release the video. Like, we just can't. We'd be deplatformed. I'd be kicked off all social media. Gallon actually wants to take the string of expletives and turn it to a ringtone and sell it on Amazon for the show. It was
limited edition Slamfire ringtone. It's $9.99. You can EMT me at jason.gallon@hotmail.com for your custom Trevor ringtone.
So, start position, heels touching X's. You run to the right. You have a popper that activates 2 moving targets. Moving target on your right is a double exposure drop turner. So it drops and it shows itself towards the shooter. It drops again, shows itself towards the other shooter, drops and disappears. That had 2 targets on it. Now, they're non-penalty mics. So as long as you engage it, you're good. You don't have to shoot at it. So everybody was shooting at it, and I thought, I'm really going to burn this stage down and not take the points and just take the time. So I hit the popper, and I run to the next opening for the other mover, which is a bobbing target. So the bobbing target is just coming up and going back down, coming up and going back down. It's appearing and disappearing behind cover, but remains visible at rest, so it's not a disappearing target. So I get that on the first exposure, pop 2 into the alpha real fast. I take off running. I hit my 2 poppers. I go to the bottom of the stairs. I shoot the next 3 targets with 6 rounds, drop the mag, run up the stairs like a gazelle, a fat gazelle, but a gazelle. Shut up.
It's a keto gazelle.
Keto gazelle, that's right. I get to the corner. I hit the stomp plate. I stick the gun out the port. I hit the popper. The swinger starts going. I smoke that. I smoke the other stag target. And then I get to the railing. So there's a trap door in the floor of the house, second floor of the house. You hit the stomp pad. The trap door opens, exposes 2 targets down below. I stick the gun through the railing. I can't find the red dot in the scope. And I'm twisting and I'm turning and I'm twisting and turning. All the while, my electronic hearing protection are beeping, telling me they're about to auto shut off. So whenever they've been on for so many minutes, they shut themselves off, but not before giving you a courtesy beep to say they're shutting off. They go beep. which is fine. But it turns out if you don't answer the beep by pushing the button, they start going beep, 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 beep. This is when swearing started. And the panicky voice. My mother effing CSers. My hearing protection is beeping in my ears and freaking me out, and I couldn't see my red dot. So I just got desperate, and I looked. Oh, both these targets, they had penalties targets on them, no shoot targets, right? Partials, right? So I'm like, I gotta shoot. So I start lighting off rounds, looking just through the glass of the scope, I popped one, into the no shoot target. I was like, pull the gun back out, go over top of the railing, finally find the dot, shoot those targets, and then I get down to the bottom of the stairs, cursing the whole way down, and then. Yeah, so the time was super. Also,
it's one of my favorite stages.
Yeah, it is. Should have been an awesome, fun stage. Somewhere along the way, too, I reloaded my gun like a wimp and didn't seat the mag, and I had to tap and rack. That cost time. Anyway,
I will pay money for this video.
Who will pay money for the video?
I will pay money to see this video, Jason.
All right.
And make some money, buddy.
EMT me $5, and I will Facebook you the video.
You'll make more than that on the ads for Facebook if you put it up.
Oh yeah,
there you go. Maybe we can put.
I will edit the bleeps. It'll make it even funnier. We'll put.
No, you don't want to edit the bleeps. That's the gravy and the potatoes of the meal. It was awesome.
Anyway, so and
he was traumatized from when he recorded my stage on the house.
That's right. Oh my God! So Mark was recording my runs, and I was recording his runs, and I told him, I said, Mark, I'm not running up those stairs. And then I said, all right, I tell you what, I'll run up the stairs if you run up the stairs. So Adriel, we need the camera on me for a second.
Yep.
So Mark takes off up the stairs, and I'm looking through the camera at Mark, not at Mark over the camera, right? So can we see this here, Adriel?
Oh, I can see it. Yep.
The first thing that happens is I slam my forearm into a 4x4 on the side of the stairs going up, and then that's not bad enough, right? Then I'm like, oh, that hurt. Now I got to put my hand down to help myself up, and then right there, that red mark. We actually have the video of pulling the splinter out of there. It was basically a 2x4 that got jammed into my hand. And yeah, it was quite huge, and there was blood, and other Trevor had to render first aid. No, there was no kissing, Kelly. I like how you always go there, but no.
There was kissing.
Who?
He cried a little.
No. Those are tears.
Kitty Band-Aid, or was it a
No, we didn't have any Hello Kitty Band-Aids. Tears of joy. So I do what all good shooters do. I shake it off. We go up the hill. And Gallon, was I the last shooter up the hill?
Yes, I believe you were.
Yeah, we sure finished on a high note, right? So I was like, I will shake this off. I've got all day tomorrow to come back and win this match. Don't even worry about it. There's a lot of shooting left. This is a big match, 336 rounds, 19 stages. So the stage was taking people over between 20 and 30 seconds to do. And I did it in 17 seconds with 100% alpha. It was a 24-round course of fire. I got a huge hit factor, like a 7 or something. It was awesome. So at that point, Gallon was crushed, right? He knew there was no coming back. I had him. All right.
I'm crushed, but his wife just served me another drink, so okay with it.
Who's winning now?
Right?
Yeah. So then we just left and came home, and we did some stuff. Nothing too terribly important. The next morning, this is SummerSlam 13. I'm not superstitious, but I do think that, we're given a false sense of security on day one. And then the SummerSlam 13 curse, man, it opened up this morning, and just surprise prison sex wouldn't have been as painful as what went on today.
They just came up, blew in all our ears, and went, it's time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, this is going to hurt. That's the last thing I heard. So, anyway, it's my turn to run the stage, and everything is going according to plan. I'm burning it down. The maze is a very, very important stage. It separates the runners from the trotters. And I get to the third array, and pow, case head separation, debris flying everywhere outside of the gun. I've now got a double feed. The arrow stops me because he thinks I have a squib. I get the gun over to the safety area. I'm a mess. I'm panicking and I'm not being thorough. And it came back to bite me incredibly hard. When you have a malfunction, you need to stop, take a breath, maybe even give the gun to somebody else who is not frazzled and not shaken, and have them look it over. Step back, detach, let somebody else do it if you can't do it yourself. I get the gun into a safe area where I can clear the ammunition out. So I do that, get the upper off, get some pliers in there, pull out the piece of brass, and it's a half a piece of brass. It's case head separation just above, the case head. And then the other round that was that caused the double feed. So I get that out. I look down the bore, no obstruction, good to go. Put the gun back together. No, there's a piece of brass now holding up the firing pin. All right, take the bolt apart, remove the firing pin. Piece of brass comes out. All right, good to go. Hey, did you guys know that the FX9 will fire out a battery?
No.
Well, I do.
Nope.
Twice. It'll do it twice. But the problem is when only half of the case is in the chamber, there's not quite enough pressure to put a round all the way through to the end of the muzzle.
Oh, no.
Right. So I pull the trigger and it kind of sounds like a squib, but not. Why was that loud? I don't understand. What happened? All right, let's hammer down. Try again. Same sound again. No hits in the paper. What do you know? I think I just put 2 bullets into my barrel, and they stayed there.
Yes.
So did you have the? You said you had case head separation. Was the rest of the brass in the chamber, and that was
it's still in there.
Yeah, so half of the brass casing was in the chamber, which allowed the next round to almost chamber fully, but it allowed it to chamber enough that the bolt looked to be completely forward and closed. It went forward enough to allow the hammer to fall and hit the firing pin. Strikes the primer. Everything goes poof in my face. Bullets don't come out the barrel because there's not enough pressure to push them out the barrel. I double down, try it again, pump a second bullet into the barrel.
Yeah.
So my FX9 is downstairs on the bench with a piece of brass stuck in the chamber, 2 bullets stuck in the barrel.
Most of a cleaning rod and a piece of wooden dowel. Because
you're gonna need more than a cleaning rod.
Oh yeah, no. This is going to require Denis is going to fabricate a steel squib rod that will be supported by brass bushings. So the steel will never touch the rifling; it'll just touch the center of the bullets because it'll be centered in the bore with these brass bushings.
If he does it enough, he should do the grease fitting trick.
That's what I was telling him.
You put it on now you could put it on a lathe because a lathe is just a nice way to center 2 things, and then you take a piece of brass, like a brass cartridge, that goes in the barrel end, and that's your seal. And then really that brass has a grease nipple on the back of it. You start cranking on that guy, and you hydraulically push those bullets out without any catastrophic hammering the crap out of the barrel.
How do you
steel rod?
How do you seal that brass into the muzzle?
Go on YouTube and check out, search for grease bullet removal. There's a Ron Hendricks in Edmonton, actually, that does that. Does the grease trick for getting bullets or whatnot out of a barrel.
Oh, I like the sound of this.
Because it's controlled, right? It's hydraulic. Because it's hydraulic, there's no you're not using air. So if you use air with this, it's catastrophic when it unloads. But the nice thing about grease is that it has 0 pressure and it just pushes it out pump after pump with a grease gun or whatever.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So,
You'll need something like that though, because 2 bullets in there are not coming out easily.
No, they're not. Luckily, they're not deep. The second one I can see is just left the chamber, right? It's just into the rifling.
Awfully glad that wasn't a 223.
Yeah, true story. Yeah. Because lighting one off, not fully in the chamber, and 223, we'd know what happened right away.
Yeah.
So,
I'm kind of disappointed that the gun allowed you to fire so far at a battery.
Me too. So let the word spread. I'll have a talk with the boys tomorrow or Saturday about that. Okay, so next, I'm hooped. Range Masters here. So the boys from Nova Scotia were on the other squad, some of the best that Nova Scotia has to offer, including the regional director for IPSC Canada. So the president of the NROI will be the range master for the main match. The regional director for IPSC Canada was the range master for the pre-match. So if you're going to switch guns, you need to get permission from the range master. So I did that, and Gallon graciously allowed me to continue with his Ruger PCC. But as I,
called my gun a farm tractor.
Yeah, he told me I was going. He said, "You were driving a Honda Civic, now you're in a Porsche." So I was like, "No, I was in a Honda Civic. Now I'm in a farm tractor." Come on, man.
Yeah, that farm tractor saved your day.
Whatever. My day will be saved on Saturday when I shoot the whole match again in Classic. I'm cray like that. So, yeah. So thank you to Gallon for allowing me the use of his Ruger for the rest of the match, and I was thoroughly impressed with it. So next, one of the guys on my squad had 4, maybe 5 squibs from the same batch of ammunition, and I was very disappointed. It's X-Metal ammunition.
Oh,
yeah, that he bought from me. So yeah. All the X-Metal product that's in my house will be going back to X-Metal with Alex when he leaves here on Sunday.
We had some squibs with X-Metal last year out of 9mm.
Yeah, well, the 9mm that we've had here so far has been good, but I have seen it before. Casper blew up his Shadow 2 in the Miramichi a couple of years ago. They made good for it, replaced the gun. But this guy, I mean, didn't even ask me if the guy blew up the gun. Just, all right, what are you sending back kind of thing. So I was like, oh, all right, no problem. So that's the end of that. The rest of the match, it took me a little while to get used. Like, I shot one stage with Gallon's Ruger, and I was like, okay, that didn't go perfect, but I know how to make it go perfect the next time. And then I just started to really have some nice runs. I got a reshoot on the boat. Unfortunately, there was RO interference, and I smashed my head on the reshoot pretty good. So did other Trevor. I mean, he rang his bell. He had to sit for a minute afterwards. We charge into the window and hit a 2x4 in the ceiling of the boat. So, because there's a target climbing up the ladder that you need to engage through the window.
I hit it too. I just didn't cry about it as much.
Oh, so tough.
You have more hair. You have more hair.
Yeah,
better beard.
So anyway, it was a challenging match, but even though I gave up 160 points, I still beat Gallon with his own gun. So there's that. That will always be a thing. So that means the worst I can do is 4th because there's 5 people. So I didn't come in last. So,
hey, question for you, Trevor. You mentioned you're going to be shooting the main match on the weekend.
Yep.
Could you come out, shoot the match with a PCC, and then shoot it again with a pistol?
The reason you can do that, Dave, is because PCC is an entirely different discipline. Okay, so the PCC guys are in their own match using the pistol matches stages.
That's cool. So you could technically shoot it twice in one day with a long gun and a short gun.
If the match director can accommodate you, yeah. But since there's a pre-match and a main match, and since I did so poorly with the PCC and had all that catastrophic failure and stuff, I sent an email to IPSC Canada and said, hey, is this a thing I can do? And the reply was yes, because it's a different discipline. You can do that. So Eric Raffel, as a matter of fact, just attended the IPSC Ontario Provincials, and he did that. He shot PCC and then in some other pistol division. So,
See, that would make it worth it. You could actually shoot for a good chunk of the day. Then that's cool.
No, it's too long, full days. We shoot 10 stages one day and 9 the next. Yeah, I'm burnt out. It's ridiculous for me to think I want to do this, but I'm going to do it anyway. Whatever. Okay, so I thought it was the ammo. I thought those were 2 squibs. So I'm in full blown panic mode. I need to load 500 rounds to take with me to Nationals on Tuesday morning. I've got to come home. I got to do some SummerSlam admin stuff, and then I got a podcast at 8 o'clock. When in God's name am I going to have time to load 500 rounds? I'm like, you know what? 100 rounds only takes 11 minutes on my square deal. So I set up a light to shine down onto the powder station, or the station where I seat the bullet, the seating station, and I visually inspected every case for 200 rounds to make sure that there was powder in them, because there's no powder check system on the square deal like there's in 650. And the more I got thinking, I said, wait a second, I ain't never loaded a squib on this machine. I've only loaded one squib on my 650 in my entire reloading career. Something is not making sense. Furthermore, what are the chances that I loaded 2 squibs and they ended up in the same magazine back to back?
Pretty unlikely.
Pretty unlikely.
Did
So
you
then
see the brass after it came out? Because on those 2 squibs, what you should have actually seen is a huge bulge near the case head.
Yep, should have, and I didn't bother to pick them up. They did. There's certainly super flat primer, I think. Right. I remember seeing a Pierce primer, Adriel. I know Justin Brown picked one up, but he didn't comment as to whether it was bulged or not. So, so that got me thinking. My ammo's good. There's something wrong with the gun. I called Denis. What could possibly cause this in a gun? And he did mention, well, possible out of battery, like, some way, somehow. But then he kind of almost talked himself out of it. So when I looked closely at the chamber and saw the ridge from that piece of brass, I went, yeah, he was on it. He knew, but hadn't quite put it together. So, called him back. So you were right. And it was due to another battery, not enough pressure to get the rounds down the barrel. I was second guessing myself that perhaps I looked through where the upper, where the handguard goes, the light goes all the way through, right? Because it would be like where the gas tube would be and stuff. So did I look on that instead of the bore? No, I couldn't have. Anyway,
the case head separation on the first one is pretty weird.
Yeah, well, brass gets reloaded and reloaded and reloaded. I've seen several case head separations on 9mm. Several.
I've seen that before. I've seen that with rifle rounds too.
Yes.
And 45s.
Yeah.
So I think I got 400 loaded when I got home. The Squire got filling tubes. What did we fill, Mark? We had 800 on the go?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, we filled the machine and then filled up 6 tubes, and he filled up another tube again. So by the time I was done, I was going to have 800 rounds loaded. As soon as we got off the show tonight, I was going to go back downstairs and keep loading, but I got a bucket full of ammo. I just got a case gauge, and I did 400 just while we were on the show here, and I apologize if it was making a lot of background noise, but I'm kind of crunched for time, so I had to do it. So yeah, that was my SummerSlam 13. Just incredibly challenging. I got to send a huge shout out to Luke, and if I already did this, I apologize because I'm super tired, but the Crony guy did all of the work today that we were supposed to do tomorrow, which is just tremendous help. So, and to everyone who is listening, who is attending the match, I will see you Friday night at the Heron's Nest Cottages at 7:00. There will be food, free food that the club members will put together for you. And there will be lots of craft beer for you to buy and consume. And so we'll see you all at 7:00 Friday.
Big yawn. Let it out, Trevor.
Oh, man.
It's like a bear getting out of hibernation.
Except I'm not hungry. I had my salmon.
Sweet.
Yep.
So is that it for SummerSlam?
That's it for
now.
SummerSlam. Next week I'll be at Nationals. So when I get home from Nationals, I'll give you the recap of how the main match went in the Nationals.
Cool.
Sweet.
Can't wait to go next year. Can't wait to go next year.
Go where?
SummerSlam.
There is no SummerSlam next year. Yeah.
Just Nationals. Cool.
Nationals in 2021.
Okay.
All right. So we good for SummerSlam? On to the next thing?
Yep.
Sweet. Next
I thought I wasn't allowed to talk about that on the radio. What's the next thing?
The next thing.
The next thing.
YouTube comments.
That was awesome. Justin Brown was running around. Sorry.
Oh,
Yeah. You give him a task to do, and like with military precision, he'd get it done. He'd come back, he'd look you in the eye, go, next, like a robot. Go cut that grass over there now. Done. It was awesome.
Flag poles.
Flagpoles. Yeah, we put them. There was flagpoles that got vandalized and ripped off of our covered firing point. He reinstalled them, gave him a box of flags, some tie wraps. He climbed up there like a spider monkey and got all the flags put up using proper protocol, the way they're supposed to be placed, all the provincial flags and stuff. Just awesome. The range looks amazing too. Like, huge shout out to the members of the Rescuers Gun Club. Not only did we get the match ready, we got a bunch of maintenance done that we were supposed to be doing all along, and we're just busy doing other stuff. Like, the range hasn't looked this good since the 2013 Nationals. And I told the regional director, like, I want this to be a national level caliber match. Like, when people come here, I want them to expect the same kind of match that they would expect if they went to the Canadian Nationals. And he said, dude, it totally is. I'm like, well, give me something. I need some kind of feedback. You've shot all over the world. What can I do to make this match better? He's like, some of your ports are too high and some of your start positions where it's palms on X's, short people can't reach them. That's all I got. Fix that. Done. Okay, great. Next.
That's my favorite start position, palms on X's.
Yeah, because you're like bent over in a really familiar way, or
I have really long arms, so I can position myself.
Oh, yeah. Hey,
Get ready for SummerSlam. It's coming behind you.
the longer your arms, the longer it takes to get down to the holster.
I don't have to move afterwards, though, on tight ones.
There you go.
Yeah. Cool. Next thing would be YouTube and Facebook Live comments. And I think a couple of us have been fielding those, have been going along. I think one person was asking what was the issue with your first case, Trevor? And I think you were mentioning there just case head separation. And then it got worse because then you had
it stayed stuck in the chamber.
Yeah.
Then Trevor got separation anxiety.
Mhm.
I did.
Mhm.
Not as bad as in the maze, though. In the maze, I was a hot mess. But, yeah.
Sweet. And not much other than that. So we can go on to listener feedback. Listener feedback is sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, parkerizing, and Cerakote finishes. If you want to Cerakote your Ruger PCC, I guess he'll do that too. As well as wood refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearms, accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca. Okay, we got one from Spencer. I'll just read this since I've got it up. Actually, Kelly, we haven't heard from you for a while. Did you want to read this one from Spencer?
Not really.
Look her up.
He says, "Hi guys, congratulations on the charity shoot. Sounds like another great event." He then goes on to say, "I may have mentioned that I got my Desert Tech MDR 380 bullpup back. Sorry, 308 bullpup back from being fixed. I'm happy to say that it's running like a champ now. When I sent it back, I couldn't get through a single magazine without some kind of failure. I had tried a whole raft of 308 and 7.6 NATO ammo, and nothing seemed to work reliably. Since getting it back a few weeks ago, I've put roughly 350 rounds through it, but both suppressed and unsuppressed. Well, good for him. He's in America, so yay, freedom. With all flavors of ammo I could find. And it hasn't hiccuped yet. In fact, the only thing it wouldn't run was some really weak CET. What is that? CETME. Anybody know what that is?
Set me ammo.
Spanish ammunition, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, well, he's following up with I have for the Spanish Mauser, and probably could have made it work if I wanted to move the gas valves off the normal setting. Just scrolling up. Sorry. If it keeps this up another couple of 100 rounds, it sure looks like the Smith & Wesson AR-10 will be up for sale. And with surplus 7.62 all over the place, it's not even an expensive gun to shoot these days. I don't know what you are seeing up north, but I can always find top quality Swiss or German 7.62 NATO for around $50 US dollars.
50 cents around.
Sorry, 50 cents around these days. There's some Malaysian stuff available now that's even cheaper, but I don't think the quality is all that great. That's it for today, I guess. Great show as always, Spencer. He has a couple of PSs here. Again, I have to scroll.
I think for like 762 or 308, I think the cheapest we can get right now is American Eagle. I think Tenda has that for 75 cents or something like that around. We can't get close to 50 cents. I haven't seen any stuff that's 50 cents.
That makes me cry. I remember buying like boxes.
US, though. That's pretty close to it's
75,
probably 67, 68 cents after the conversion.
Yeah.
Yep. And then he goes on with a PS like he always does. Too bad Trevor didn't get to the John Browning Museum when he was out in Utah. I'm kind of surprised he didn't make the trip if he's a museum fan. It was very cool to see, and the most that it was very cool since it had most of the prototypes on display as well as this actual workshop. It's always a train museum. I guess Ogden, sorry.
Ogden.
Yep.
Ogden was the closest real town to where the two ends of the Transcontinental Railroad ended up meeting machine guns and steam trains. That's a hard combo to beat, he says.
I didn't know the museum was there. The gun dudes never told me. I doubt I would have had time anyway. We were in a class we were long days. Class half day, range half day, 20 hours class, 20 hours range.
Fit in some steam engines and some machine guns, or machine guns on steam engines.
Now you're talking.
It had to have been a thing at some point.
Oh, it was a thing.
Yeah, Gatling guns on the steam engine. Yeah.
Sounds like an idea for the SummerSlam in 2 years.
Yes.
Yeah, steam engine. If you'd like to email the show, send your email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Podcast app reviews, there were none, but I did get access to our iTunes account, so now I can look at stats and things on our iTunes subscribers. Stats and stuff and things. Yeah, I can do that. If you would like to, head on over to iTunes or whatever podcast app you have and give us a review or rating or whatever. Some of the different apps out there allow you to thumbs up or give us a star rating, and that helps with getting the podcast more visibility. Shoutouts. Trevor?
Yeah. So definitely to the crew that worked with me here this weekend. The guys aren't even members of the club, and they came up from Fredericton. So Mark, the new squire, it's just crazy. It's crazy that these guys gave up an entire week of, not being at work, not being with their family, not being with their kids, their wives, right? They come all the way up here and give up all that free time and then work like dogs to help me put on one of the best matches in Canada. So Mark, Justin, Gallon, like, you guys have no idea how much what you've done for me this week means to me, means to the Rescuers Gun Club. It speaks to the community that we have and the fellowship among gunnies. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you going out of just everything you've done this week to help make this match a success. You're very much part of our team and valued members of that team. And finally, to other Trevor, he completed his IPSC Range Officer Level 1 certification requirements by completing SummerSlam as an RO. And he did a fantastic job ROing such a long 2-day. It was grueling. And a lot of stages, a lot of shooters, and he did a fantastic job. So congratulations to him.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Sweet. Kelly?
Yeah, I have one. It's for Westfoot. I just wanted to say you rock. And let's go shooting sometime. Just you and me.
Sweet.
That's it.
Ooh, date night.
Two of
Yeah.
us.
I think he's 10.
You and I.
We try.
I think you have to sex it up a little bit. This is an exclusive opportunity.
Okay.
Calm down, Gallon.
He's 10.
Calm down.
He's
Oh.
10.
Oh.
Did I mention he's 10?
And now all of a sudden we are kicked off the internet. Way to go. Smooth.
We could proper get kicked off and do a story time with Gallon, but I don't think
Yeah.
That would be proper kicked off. You're right.
We could
Yeah.
do that sometime as an extra for maybe the Patreon listeners.
There you go.
Yeah, nice.
Slam Fire After Dark. It's about to get very adult in here.
Is it after 7?
It's almost 10 o'clock here, so I feel like I can say whatever the hell I want.
Long.
Slamfire Triple X.
And I've been having a couple drinks tonight. I may have found a bar on the Quebec side that allows smoking indoors and sells beer for $2.25. So guess what my second new favorite place to hang out is after Trevor's house.
Now, for those of you wondering, how can you smoke in a bar in 2019? First Nations territory is not subject to provincial law. So when they have the little VLT rooms that they call casinos, you can smoke in them. So they also sell beer in them. So that's
They're
how.
awesome.
Yeah. There you
Cool.
go.
Any of you other guys have shout outs? Dave?
I got a couple of shout-outs.
Yeah.
I want to say hi to my friend Serena. She's a new shooter in the Moncton area, and she's eager to learn everything she can. My friend Janet's listening in right now. She's really excited for this. And Irish Will, my buddy Irish Will, is a big listener of the show. I had no idea when we were all in Drumheller. He messaged me, and he's like, "Are you rubbing Trevor's back and feeding him bacon?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he got really gushy over it. So maybe I can get some Slam Fire stuff before I leave. And I'm going to see him at work this week, and I can bring him some stuff, and he would super appreciate it from you guys.
I think he
All right.
was on tonight.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Here.
Trevor's about to throw me some stuff from across the room for Irish Will.
Here, Irish Will.
I'm going to
That's
hook
for
him
you,
up.
buddy. I kissed a patch for him.
I stole a pair of your underwear to bring to him, but I'll give them back to
Not my-
patches.
Those Spider-Man boxers are brand new. She just bought them. Do not steal my Spidey undies.
And I want to thank Trevor for his hospitality. Like, he's going on about all this work us volunteers are doing, and we've been up here like a couple of days. We're going to be up here for a couple more. Trevor is central to the shooting sports, especially the handgun shooting sports in this province, right? He has hosted us dozens and dozens and dozens of times every year for the last decade. And he's letting people take over his house and skeegee strangers sleep in here. And then he's like making such a big deal that we're up here for a couple of days. Like, none of this would happen if he wasn't leading on point on this. And it's stressful and he gets tired. So I want to give a big shout out to Trevor and all the work he does for the shooting community. And I want to ask Kelly why she's wearing an IIT hat. What are you doing?
I've devoted myself.
She's showing it off.
I purposefully lost mine on the last trip. I wasn't gonna tell you, but I actually did that on purpose when I lost it.
I pretty much noted that. I figured, you know what? I'm not going to say anything because by the time we were done, we weren't going to need it anyways.
It's been noted and added to your record.
You're
The HR department has already started the file. It's pretty thick already. So
after traveling for 2 weeks with you and Stacy, I've actually reached a level 6 Maple Seed Wizard. Only me and Craig May have achieved that. We are wizards.
4 weeks in a car with Gallon.
Wizardry.
You got all the aids now.
True story.
Yeah, I had to smell their farts the whole trip. So
Excuse me?
Girls don't
Oh
fart.
my
Everyone knows
God. He was sitting in the back seat. He wasn't allowed to drive. We didn't put him on. And he's sitting in the back seat. Every once in a while, the window would go down. And then it'd be, oh my God, Gallon, what have you eaten?
it was mostly revenge and some sick. I was really sick.
It's horrible.
that. Worst shoutouts ever.
Yeah. Any other shout outs other than, fart related ones?
Shout out to my buddy Kyle from Shelburne, who just got his ATT after going shooting with me, and he is currently hunting for an AR-15. So if anybody happens to have one for sale, feel free to message me. And he
Good luck.
can't find one anywhere.
I've got an STI receiver. No, I'm not selling those. They're sequential serial numbers. Never mind. I was gonna say I've got an STI receiver sitting in that for $1,000. Oh yeah. On top of everything else, my day started with replacing a $389 tire. Yeah, that's how my day started. Something I wanted Luke to the rescue again. Luke, I got a flat. Take my truck and go either get the flat fare. I have a leak. Apparently, there's no such thing as a slow leak. It's either a leak or a blowout. There's no in between, according to Captain Andy. And anyway, Luke to the rescue, man. So between Luke and accidentally forgetting to delete Christina's credit card information off my cell phone, we got a new tire put on my truck $389 later. Yeah. It's a nice expense right before you leave for a week at the Nationals.
I'd like to have trucks.
Cool. Other shout outs?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Trevor and Christina for always making me feel welcome in their home, and my squad mates who made it a very enjoyable day, and they also helped out a lot at the range this past week and probably months, helping set things up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we had a super squad. It was a really fun time. You couldn't ask for better people to shoot with.
I got one more shout out, and that's the Filthy. Filthy waited too late to book at Castle Furlot, and I had to turn Filthy and Mike possibly away. Mike just assumed he was staying here. He unfortunately didn't know what kind of event SummerSlam was, how big it was, and stuff like that, and how quickly things fill up, including my place. So I only have these two here now, but on the weekend I will have other people here, which means there's no room for Doug Mead. That's the other ginger who beat me that one time on a stage. He was going to put a tent in the backyard, and Filthy and Mike want to stay, and then it's like, so Filthy and Mike and Doug Mead are over at who they will now definitely consider Better Trevor's place.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so the house will be full. Plus, I got my godson and his partner in the backyard in a tent. That's how things are going to be this weekend.
So essentially what you're saying, Trevor, is if anyone beats you on the stage, they can go to hell and go sleep somewhere else.
Well, at least you figured it out.
That's true.
I have one more shout out, just
Yep.
to let you know. I just wanted to say to Miss Stacy, happy birthday today.
Oh yeah, happy birthday.
Oh, geez.
Oh,
Happy
right,
birthday,
yes. Happy
Stacy.
birthday, Stacy.
At least I remembered to send her a message, but
I did.
man,
Happy birthday, baby.
good job, Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's it. That's
Any other
That's
shout
all
outs? No, okay, good. Patreon supporters, we have a new Patreon, Randy M at 3. I think that's 300 or 330?
absolutely
cal?
300.
300.
Yes,
So that's like 300 Win Mag, probably.
correct. And
Uh,
dollars per episode.
I'm going to do a mail out of Patreon patches tonight. So if you have been waiting for a week or two, or since the last time I sent them out, they're coming tonight. If you'd like to help us out, head on over to patreon.com/slamfireradio. Supporters over there help us pay for bandwidth and equipment and whatnot to be fancy and get this stuff live out to you guys, so you can watch the show and listen to it. You could also help the show out by visiting Cabela's through our website. We've got a link to Cabela's there. If you're going to buy something online anyways, you can click on that Cabela's link and it'll give us like a 1 or 2% cut or something. Please join one or more of our firearms associations, such as the CCFR. Check us out on Gun Owners of Canada and like us on Facebook. This is our first time today. We're actually live streaming this on Facebook and YouTube at the same time. Just for fun, and it's been interesting. There's been a bunch of people kind of jumping in and out on the Facebook stream, and maybe it's something we'll have to do more regularly. So, yeah, it's been interesting anyways. Thanks for watching, everyone.
One thing we should mention before we cut off is that there's still auctions open from the charity shoot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Check the charity
Thank
shoot
you, Dave.
Facebook page. There are eight things, lots of things up there still for sale, and I see another one just got added.
Very cool. Yep. So definitely take a look at that, and thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.
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 And that one. And
So if you have any comments or questions for the show, please send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Now go grab a gun and shoot something.
When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.